Every couple of months, a supercar manufacturer like Ferrari, Bugatti or McLaren will announce a new limited-run variant with a price tag in the hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. But then in that same announcement, they'll also say that the car's already sold out. How? How do you buy a car before it's announced? Is there some sort of shadowy billionaire car club? Well, kinda. But before getting into that, make sure you drop a like because you're not gonna believe what's coming up. Now, as we all know, the easiest way into a supercar ownership is getting a used car, unless it's like a very limited edition car, because a normal supercar is going to lose a substantial amount of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. This really makes it not worth it to buy a supercar from a dealership. Now, is that much different from a normal dealership? Not really. In fact, some brands like McLaren try to make it as easy as possible to make sure their customers can buy a used car, because, believe it or not, they have some catching up to do. McLaren's business model is super interesting. They are trying to create their presence and legacy in the market like Ferrari and Porsche have created since the 90s, and surprisingly, they've done it in about a decade. They haven't even been selling these production cars for that long, and they're already being spoken in the same sentence as these other brands. Their revenue in 2021 was up 110% compared to the previous year as well. This tells us they have successfully made their space in the supercar market. When combined with their rising presence in motorsport, McLaren's open-door policy is obviously a great idea. But how does the story change when a supercar manufacturer also builds consumer cars that your Aunt Karen would drive? What kind of advantages does a company like Porsche have over their supercar competition? Their cars are a lot less exotic, which in a lot of cases I think makes them a more attractive brand, at least from a practical point of view for daily usage. So far, buying a supercar from Porsche's dealership doesn't seem that much different than buying a regular old consumer car. It's just a lot more expensive. But there's one manufacturer that stands out: Ferrari. Oh my god, these guys can be really annoying sometimes. Ferrari's just one of those brands that's on a whole new level right now, and I think that's why they could play the game the way they do. More than buying a car, they want you to have a relationship with them. Most of the time, they would not even let you buy a new car and will pitch you a used one from their inventory. And if you are a first-time Ferrari buyer, then your chances are substantially low of getting your hands on a new one. They really want to make sure that you are all about that Ferrari lifestyle. But why? Why would they lose a potential customer and make comparatively less money than they would have made selling a new car? The answer itself is simple, but opens up a much bigger conversation, and that is demand. Ferraris are truly limited production cars. Ferrari produces about 8,400 cars a year. To put that in perspective, Honda produced just under 4.5 million cars last year, making Ferrari's numbers look tiny. But there are huge differences in how Ferrari and Honda build their respective cars. Ferrari tries to build as much of the car by hand as possible, which adds to the brand's aura. Handcrafted will never go out of style. But this way of building things is much slower and caps production in the process, which can cause some customers to wait over a year for their car. Ferrari is not the car maker for those looking for instant gratification. In an interview with Drive.com, Ferrari Chief Marketing Officer Enrico Galliera revealed the process for getting into the company's good graces. Ferrari's guidelines are set for every limited production car, with presumably more stringent demands for rarer cars like their LaFerrari. For example, not only do prospective customers need to have an extended history with the brand, including owning multiple Ferraris, but the customer must maintain a relationship with Maranello by attending events like the Cavalcade Road Rallies, where Ferraris meet up in the hundreds and go for a drive. Another way to curry favor with Ferrari is to sign up for their exclusive racing school in Italy, as well as attend high-profile motorsports events like WEC and Formula One races. See how insane it is that even when it comes to something as expensive as a Ferrari, money can't buy you everything. But luckily there are a lot of options. Pretty much every brand we mentioned earlier has their own super exclusive limited-run hypercar. Porsche has the 918 Spider, McLaren's got God knows how many limited edition cars, and Lamborghini has some seriously crazy stuff in the oven, like the Countach that came in recently in 2021. Then there are brands that deal exclusively in hypercars, like Koenigsegg and Pagani. The difference between hypercars and regular old supercars is that manufacturers will not build a hypercar to have it sit on a lot and wait for a buyer to walk in. If you want to buy a car like the Pagani Huayra or the Bugatti Veyron, you must approach a dealership near you and tell them that you're dead serious. Now remember, they don't have new cars on the lot. You're gonna have to wait a while. Now a while can be several months to 2 whole years, because remember, it's not your uncle's Prius, it's a hypercar. It's being made by hand. That's the first big difference. Then you're gonna need to give the manufacturer an allocation so they know you won't bail out. Next comes the best part, speccing the car out exactly how you want it. This can be done remotely, or you can fly out to France or wherever your car is being built and tell them yourself. If you purchase a Pagani, you'll be sitting down with Horatio Pagani, the guy who founded the company, not service. After you've picked out things like the paint, stitching color, seat material, and other options that make your car one of one, it's time for it to be built. And the coolest part about this is the manufacturer will keep sending you photo updates, which really make it personal. And then finally, after such a long wait, you can take it across the country for a drive. Just kidding, it's probably going to be sitting in the garage for most of the year. The best part about a hypercar is it will either gain value or hold its value, even if it has 1,000 miles on it. The car doesn't even have to be that expensive for that to happen. Factors like a global pandemic can do strange things to the used sports car market. COVID actually caused the factory that built the C8 Corvette to shut down. If you had one before quarantine hit, you can flip it for a profit, even if you put 1,000 miles on it. People wanted that car that bad. Demand alone does tricky things in the market, COVID or not. Well, now you know why some supercars take more money to buy and why some supercars take more than money to buy. We hope you gained a lot of value from this video. Please drop a like and subscribe, as it really motivates us to put together such videos for you. See you in the next one.